Hey everybody, happy St. Patrick's Day. I've been going through the Operationalizing to Elements assignments, and I think we need some clarification on what's expected in that assignment. So I'm going to have the grading of those with some feedback wrapped up today, but I think we might need for some of you to uh, take a step back and revisit this assignment. So for those who I've given comments where it looks like you've missed the boat on what the assignment was about, I take responsibility for any confusion on this. It looks like I didn't explain it clearly enough in the syllabus. The whole idea behind this assignment and then the next one, which is operationalizing two more elements, is to choose two administrative units that we could label as instructional support systems and basically bring them to life. So within the idea of what troubled university is facing, the idea that Dr. Bowers is coming in and needs to be able to have some plans in place to just hit the ground running, particularly in the first 100 days. So at the end, you're going to have 4 administrative units, but for the first paper, what are 2 administrative units that have some connection to supporting the academic mission of the institution that could be addressed to advance the institution, address some of the issues that troubled university is facing, and what are those? So what are those? So identify them clearly, name them, and talk about what is it that they would do. So I don't want to give a bunch of examples because I want you to think creatively. Think what are these things that the institution is dealing with, and what does dealing with those mean? So let's just I'll throw one out there. Let's say that one of the issues is that needs to be addressed clearly. There are facility problems, but from an instructional support system perspective, what can those units do? Let's say that something happens and we're actually able to fix these facility problems. Then what? What does a diversity office do? What does orientation do? Um, what are the things they do not only to respond to the negativity that would have existed around these facility issues and the impact that that's had. And of course, there's word of mouth and people hear about things, there's social media, but what's next? How do we recover? Not necessarily specific to those facility issues, but their morale issues as well. So just kind of one example. That's you don't have to write about the facility issues stuff. I'm not suggesting that to say that everybody needs to go back and change what you've done to write about facilities. But I want to make sure that there's more clarity for the assignment. And I'm going to ask some of you to go back and revisit this. A number of you made the focus of the assignment on the parts of the CAS general standards, and that's not the idea. In the syllabus, I reference the fact that depending on what type of units you're addressing, you may not touch on very many of the CAS standards. You may only touch on a few of the parts, or maybe for a particular instructional support system, there is one key part of the CAS general standards for that individual support system. The idea is that by the time you put together your final paper, which is combining introducing the institution, operationalizing 2 elements, and then operationalizing 2 more elements, you will have addressed all of the parts of the CAS general standards. I'm not looking for you to address the CAS general standards for each in their full capacity of all 13 parts to address those for each of the operationalized elements that you're choosing to look at. I feel at this point I'm starting to ramble and talk in circles, so I'm going to stop this video. And as you have questions, as you're working on it, please email me and ask questions. If you're confused, please email me or call me and ask those questions, because I'd rather talk through ideas and hopefully clear up confusion on the front end than for you to feel discouraged because you've submitted something that I don't view as fitting with what's in the syllabus. And again, I do take responsibility for not explaining that clearly enough in the syllabus or in other parts of our course together. Um, so you're getting a grade on this, but there's an opportunity if you feel your grade is low for you to make adjustments and resubmit. The good thing is we've got some wiggle room in our schedule between when operationalizing 2 more elements is due and then when the final paper is due. There's about a month span there. So there's room in there for resubmissions and time for asking questions and things like that. So I don't want you to feel like you've got to somehow cram in making revisions to this assignment so that you can get this submitted before you submit operationalizing 2 more elements. Don't worry about that. There's wiggle room. There's time. You don't need to have operationalizing 2 elements done first before operationalizing 2 more elements. But I do want you to ask questions as you have them. So don't worry. There's everybody still has the opportunity to earn an A in this course, and I want to make sure that I'm providing you with all the clarification and help that I can for you to reach that goal of earning an A in this course.